Welcome to part 2 of MySQL PHP search programming courtesy of developphp.com. Moving right along with no time to waste. Now that we have our exercise tables created and populated, we can start with basic search programming. But before we work on any SQL syntax, we need an HTML form to give the user something to type their search query into. So I'm going to go into the body tag and I'm going to type in the form tag. And the form action, I'm going to make PHP. So if you're on Dreamweaver, you can go up here to the PHP tab and just echo. If you hit echo, you can echo server self like that. Now what that's going to do is make this file parse to itself. And equivalent to that is me typing in search.php. That makes it also parse to itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave mine like this, echoing server self, just because I'm a cool dork. And we want the method to be post. And I'm going to see if I can just get by with that. I'm going to close that off and then go down one line and close off the form tag. Try to anyway. Pew. And actually, if you're in Dreamweaver, while you're building forms, you can go inside of your form tag there. And let's see, up here they have a selection for forms, and they give you all these nice things. You just click it and it goes in. You don't have to know anything. Like right now, I don't know anything. I'm going to click this and I have a field. Look at that. I'm going to name this text field search query. Would that be a good name? Search query? Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay. And now if I look in design view, hey, look at that. I got the form, I got the field. Now all I have to do in front of the field is put search, maybe the word search. That works for me. And I'm going to go ahead and set up the max chars to be 88, and then my character width for the how long that field's going to be. You can also use CSS and use a pixel amount or a percentage for the width on this text field. But I'm going to use the char width here and set it to maybe, I don't know, 80. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. And above that form, maybe I can pop in search the exercise tables. And we can go ahead and highlight that, press Ctrl 2, and that'll give us a nice H2 header. That'll say search the exercise tables. Okay. And then what we'll do is under the form, we'll have an output section. So let's go ahead and make that real quick. Let's just put in a div. Close it off, go down a line, and close the div tag. Search output. Output, and then put a semicolon on the end of it, on the front of it. Put a $sign, highlight the whole thing, go up here to PHP and echo. And that's where we're going to echo the search output. Okay? And what will happen is when the person presses submit with their search query, we are going to have PHP up top here, so we can just go ahead and put that in place. Let's go ahead and put a PHP block. And here is where we will process the search query. Okay, the first thing we have to do is put an if condition. Open the curly brace, go down one line, close the curly brace, and inside of the parentheses we're going to type in isSet, which is a PHP function to see if a variable or global is set. And the variable we want to look for is search query. So I'll type in $_ post, open bracket, single quote, close bracket. In between those single quotes, that's where that variable name goes. So if is set post search query, then and only then will this code here run. But we're going to put in one more little condition. We're going to put the AND operator. We want to make sure this posted variable is not equal to nothing. So if it's set and if it has a value, then and only then are we going to run this code here. Run code if condition meets here. Okay, so here's the logic. If this posted variable is set, that means if they use that form, they type something in, and actually we're going to need a button. So let's go up back up here to forms and hit the button, and let's make it a submit type. Okay, there we go. Name can be mybtn. So let's see what we have there. That's good. Now back to the logic. What's going to happen is if they press that button, they type something in, code is going to process here. The code that you want to process here is looking in your database to search for things that whatever they typed in, that's what you're going to search the database for right here. And you're going to assemble that into a variable. Whatever output comes out in the loop, you're going to assemble it into a variable called search output, and then it comes out on the page here under the search bar. Very simple, very nice. And I've decided to add something real quick early on, so we can put it under that button there. So what we're going to do is add a list, not a text area. Where is that? Select list right there. Let's name it filter 1. Okay. And in the select list, go ahead and make the select closing tag go down one line, and inside that open space you have there now in between the opening and closing select tag, we're going to put in option space value, and the first one is going to be, by default, it'll be searching the whole site. The person will be searching the whole site. And then you close off your option tag, and in between the option tags opening and closing there, type in whatever this value is here. And let's take that, copy it, and here, what did we have? We have tables called pages. That's the pages section of the site, so you can allow the user to search only in that section of the site. I'll show you how to do that. And then the other one was blog, so you can allow them to search independently within the blog. Maybe they don't want results from the pages. They don't want results from the whole site. They want only results from the blog, and they want to search for certain things only in the blog. You can allow them to do that with this little list. And let's make sure that we have that select down a couple of lines. Put in break tags. Let's make sure make those semantic by putting on the closing tag in those breaks. Yeah, that's good. Now in front of that, we can type in right here in this line, search in whole site. It'll say by default, and then they'll be able to select pages or blogs too. Now, with all of this set up, inside of this area here is where we'll evaluate to see if they use the filter or not. Because we'll know if it's whole site. It's going to be whole site by default. We'll see if it's not whole site, then we're going to query the database differently. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So now that we have all of the cosmetic mechanisms, really the user interfaces for searching, and we have a little display area here, we'll pick it up in the next video where we're going to actually get down and dirty with some SQL syntax, showing all the different ways that you can query your database in a search type scenario.